sounded like a very powerful thud.
En route to Hopkins for fire investigation.
It was a big boom.
Alan Stevenson knew it before he saw it.
I physically felt it.
I stopped. I was like, what was that?
A blast so big, it rocked his house from 3 blocks away.
What's going on? It sounded like a truckload of pallets just slamming onto the pavement.
The neighborhood came running. The sound loud, the air gray.
I saw the smoke as soon as I came outside.
And by the time help came, it was a 4-alarm fire. The house collapsed and completely in flames.
It was a pretty violent explosion, as you can see. There's a pretty good debris field here.
Investigators don't yet have an official cause.
It could be a gas stove, could be a furnace, could be a water heater.
A little nervous. Yeah, you hope for the best. I hope everybody's okay.
Hope now turned to despair as 2 people were found dead inside.
Busy time to be at the mall. Kids are going back to school.
There's a couple people having the scuffle in line.
Inside a 5 million square foot mall.
He had walked back in and was like, yo, what's up, what's up?
With about 100,000 people inside daily, someone is guaranteed to see.
Not much later were there gunshots.
Or hear.
Just heard gunshots.
Something.
Just get as many people in the back as we can. Opened up the door and was yelling, get in the back, get in the back.
It's so scary.
Nike employees say that they immediately went into a lockdown after shots were fired inside their store.
Just a herd of people running down the hall. People were falling.
While others went out the door.
I ran away because I didn't want to get killed.
Michelle Smith-Johnson and her daughter,
She ran.
visiting from Kansas,
She ran as hard as she could.
were having a dream day.
There's so many angry and hateful people out there in the world today.
When it spiraled
And it's so sad.
into a nightmare.
It's so sad. So I just encourage everybody, make sure you tell your loved ones you love them on a daily basis.
There was quite a good few kids in there. Yeah, there was a lot of kids crying.
People out here, I don't know, going nuts.
And now parents are wondering, where are their kids safe?
And you think that you're going to be safe. But there's no guarantee anymore.
Oh my God, when I seen it, I was so shocked. This is crazy.
I was sitting in the office working on some spreadsheets, and there was a rattle that happened. There was a vibration that shook the building.
This is outrageous. The students, they were just trying to get to class.
Shortly after, the staff informed me that we were being asked to vacate the building and fire trucks were stacking up.
I take that shuttle to class sometimes. So when I seen it, I had to call my mom immediately. I was like, oh my God, what if I took the shuttle today? I wouldn't have made it to class.
There's a lot of moving pieces in terms of getting a large bus out of the building and then making sure the structural integrity is good and making sure that if there's any gas lines or electric.
Everybody's safe. I think everybody survived as of now.
Now we're hanging out outside in the parking lot waiting for the go-ahead.
Prayers for the students because this is scary.
Chippewa Falls right now is a community feeling the need to do something.
I just wanted to do something nice for them.
Tying purple ribbons all over town in honor of Lily Peters, the 10-year-old girl found murdered along a bike trail Monday morning.
Hey, how are you? Okay.
Those who knew Lily and those who did not are pulling together to show her family they're here for them.
Lily's father drove the bus that my daughter rode to school for about 7 years. It's sad that this is all that we can do, but I just hope that, you know, wherever she is looking down at this, she's at least able to feel some pride in her family and just help them get through it.
Words of support for Lily's family and no words for whoever took her from them.
You couldn't put it on TV. Just saying.
As police continue to search the woods along the bike trail where Lily's body was found, a memorial grows outside Parkview Elementary School, including notes from fellow children. Police say Lily was biking home to her dad's house Sunday evening from her aunt's and never made it.
There's really no words for how horrific this is.
Even if the answers won't make sense, these community members feel the need to hear them.
This is a little girl, and she deserves so much more.
When it feels like it's in the single digits, folks are quick to move inside and warm up.
It was cold. It was I was struggling.
Mary Jo Bellinger used to be homeless when she was a teenager.
I check on them daily to give them gloves and stuff today, food.
Many in the line to the Life Center's annual Thanksgiving outreach
It's cold up here, y'all.
are still living in the streets.
I think we're seeing like homeless shelters maxing out at capacity because it got so cold so fast.
Yesterday, volunteers went out to check on folks sleeping in the cold.
A lot of them, what they really need are gloves and hats and scarves.
But today, they have a hot meal.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
And warm greetings.
So we had 2 big tents run by generators. They came out of Alaska.
Allison Goings was homeless for 2 years.
Generators, the only thing that kept the lights and the heat going.
She said she still has friends spending their days outside.
So we're out there dealing with the weather and the snow.
She's thankful to be out of it, but others have to seek warmth.
People who maybe can't get into the homeless shelters, who are having to stay in the light rail, having to stay in the bus stations.
They'll avoid an early winter's grasp as best they can. Sammy Solina, KARE 11 News.
It's Kids Day at the fair! My dad woke us up at 7 in the morning and told us we were going to the fair. Because it's just fun to hang out with your family. Riding rides for the entire day. Well, definitely that ride over there. We're gonna do 3 rides today. The Ferris wheel, and the Gravitron, and the Sky Ride.
Come on, give me some.
We saw cows and horses. And we saw chicken, don't forget. We're gonna go crazy because we probably eat too much sugar. We're getting bacon.
Hey, no. Yeah, man. It's magic time. Flip it over, see what you did. Is that your... How did she do that? She's a magician.
Go to the fair.
It's the best.
Yes. Go. It's amazing. It's really super duper fun.
Now people come to Granite, won't even know they're going through Granite. What little town is this? Otherwise, before they knew they were coming to Granite when they seen the stacks.
Granite Falls is saying goodbye to a long-standing resident.
It was NSP back when we worked there. Now it's called XL.
When you spend 34 years of your life somewhere,
Back when we were kids, we worked harder.
turning the next chapter is tough.
Yeah, it's sad. I think about all those guys, and you think back at all the men that worked in there.
Dallas Iverson and Vernal Kane
I didn't think it'd be that loud.
had a front row seat to the legacy of this coal mine being leveled in seconds.
Like I say, tears. Can't help it.
That was their life.
Yeah, it was.
This plant was built in the 20s and began generating in the early 30s.
XL is trying to erase their carbon footprint.
That was 1991.
But
Same hard hat.
not their memories.
Yeah.
Energy lines that once fed power out to Sioux Falls and towards Minneapolis now switch towards sustainable resources.
They've been staples for decades and generations. So you get the one viewscape that you've seen for 70 plus years, and here we are. It's a totally different look across the river.
Traveling down a new road towards clean energy.
I guess you gotta go along with the times and see what happens.
Dallas and Vernal say farewell to an old friend.
Here today, gone tomorrow.
Amazing how it all went straight down. All that steel in there. Unbelievable.
This is his coolest.
Saw it on the internet and we were trying to find it.
And it's a whole lot more detailed than I ever imagined it would be.
What is that? You said it when we got out of the car.
That's a dinosaur. It's a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
You don't see many of these in Sherburne County.
No, you don't. At least not in the past, millions of years.
And it's so fun to have it so close. I just live 2 doors down.
I kind of wanted to do something really big this year, so I thought maybe do a dinosaur.
This year he worked on it all by himself. There we go.
I think it's around at least 12 feet near the legs.
Blows my mind.
Wanted him to look fierce and cool looking.
Whoever did this probably spent a lot of time on it.
About 3 weeks.
It's amazing to see all the people that have come out.
I just kind of did it because it seemed like something really cool.
It's his best. It's amazing.
I like it. I think it's real cool and pretty much looks just how as I imagined it.
Fever reached out with their Candlelight concert series, and we really enjoyed the concept as a fit for our venues. We want to be focusing on local artists, local talent, and then have an experience.
It's a very interesting concept. And it's one that's been really well received.
It's really a little bit of everything. We do string quartets.
We've been doing Frank Sinatra, we've been doing Ella Fitzgerald.
You make me smile.
Slow songs. Faster songs. We like to do songs from back in the 50s. All the way through today. We try to bring people on a musical journey.
With this, it's like your attention of your peripheral is the candles. It gives off a different energy. You definitely perform different.
LED candles, they get the nice flickering glow. We do not use real candles. It would be too much of a hazard. The ambiance of the candlelight is very experiential. It helps draw the people into the music more. There's not the distractions of theatrical lights and settings. It's really just about the experience, the music, and being a part of the show.
People will drive some distance to come here, or some folks live right around the corner.
It's been amazing just to see people coming back out in Uptown and moving around within the area.
You can feel the energy in the room. I would even call it respect.
If there's a recipe to success, this group's ingredients would include good music and good company.
We put out pretty much the best pizza you can, and it shows, you know.
Pizzas you'd be proud enough to wear on your sleeve.
This is the very first cheese pizza I made for the company.
After 2 decades of working in different restaurants around the Twin Cities, it's nice to work for somebody that really cares about what we're doing here.
Yeah, couldn't do it without them. 110%.
But Paris Rosen's business includes a not-so-secret ingredient.
Sean, where's bus 2 headed?
With a daughter fascinated by school buses, years ago, Paris bought one. So when the idea came to make pizzas with a wood-fired brick oven,
I had that bus sitting in my driveway taking up space, and I said, well, why don't we put it in the bus?
Pepperoni.
4 years later, Brick Oven Bus has made countless stops.
I'll take a kid's cheese, please. What else would you like?
Is the bus cool?
Cool bus?
A hot spot on National Night Out.
It's a hot day for Brick Oven inside a school bus, but it's super fun.
Fans have turned into employees.
And I was like, how do I get on that bus and like have fun and then eat pizza?
Their headquarters are out of an old fire station in Egan.
My buddy who used to work here told me about this company. I didn't really believe what he was talking about. He's like, I'm in a firehouse with buses with chimneys in them. I was just like, all right. I thought he was making it up at first. I was like, I don't know if you've been drinking all day or what, but I'll come down and check it out.
3 of the buses have brick ovens inside. They'll soon be working on a 4th.
This just parked in here at like 3 a.m. yesterday. I just drove it straight back from Pennsylvania.
An idea rolling along.
All set for you.
To order, customers step inside.
That's the goal for us, is to connect people. And I think that's so important nowadays in a society where we are disconnecting ourselves more than ever.
A lesson learned.
Make it about the people. This job never gets old.
In Plymouth, Heidi Wigdahl,
Yay.
KARE 11 News.
To truly appreciate how far the Mayo Clinic has come after 10,000 blood and marrow transplants, it helps to go back to step 1.
The 3 years I was sick, it was really hard. I received my last rites twice.
So I knew I was dying.
Nancy McLean was a healthy 7-year-old identical twin in 1960.
This is right before I was sick.
She developed a rare blood condition called aplastic anemia that left her unrecognizable.
So you can see how much prednisone I was on. You can see the moon face that I have.
Treatment after treatment failed.
Over the 3-year span, I'd had 98 pints of blood. They would actually call juniors and seniors out of their classroom to go to the Canby Hospital to give her blood, and it was, arm to arm.
With time running out, Mayo Clinic Dr. Robert Kyle recommended an experimental bone marrow transplant that would only be possible with the help of her twin, Bonnie.
My mom could not make the decision because at the time it was a possibility of losing both of us. So she made me make the decision, which was very easy, Her cure was her twin sitting right next to her, yes. Bonnie and I got to basically pioneer it.
Within weeks, Nancy's blood returned to normal, and they never looked back.
We've come a long ways. Yes, we have. Now we're grandmas. Yes. Now we're happy grandmas.
And they are even happier knowing the man who helped get them here is also still here.
I think I'm gonna cry. It's so good to see you.
Yes, wonderful.
Dr. Kyle couldn't miss this.
And here is the lady that made it all happen.
And thank you for saving my twin.
It's phenomenal.
At 94 years old, Dr. Kyle is still a consultant for the Mayo Clinic.
He's a blessing to all of us.
And he's still going strong after nearly 70 years of service.
I hear we have a reception to go to pretty soon.
Yes, yes.
He says a lot has changed since that first transplant. You no longer need to be a twin or exclusively use bone marrow.
Hi, how are you doing?
But Dr. William Hogan, current director of this blood and bone marrow transplant team, says you can't appreciate this milestone without going back to step one.
Thank you for leading us down this road, and it's really kind of awe-inspiring to think that there's 10,000 more patients that have followed in your footsteps.
10,000 and counting.
And I hope I'm here for 20,000, and I hope you invite me back. But I never knew I'd become so famous just by getting old.
In Rochester, Kent Erdahl, KARE 11 News.
From the outside, it looks like a normal football practice at Minneapolis North. But from the inside, it clearly is not. Finding the words is hard for North head coach Charles Adams. Even now, 6 months since North High quarterback number 9 Deshaun Hill was murdered. The pain of that February day has not gone away.
Man, I miss him so much, man. He brought so much energy to this program, which gets fed off. So I'm gonna miss him so much.
So the double slam it out.
But the Polars move forward, and they do so in Deshaun's memory. From the decal on the helmet with Deshaun's face to the fact his name will forever appear on the North roster, his number 9 never to be worn during a game. But it will be worn in practice to honor Deshaun. On this day, by good friend Khalil Brown.
Really, when he passed, I said, well, I want to follow his legacy, so I'm going to grind even more.
Football is a grind. It's a brotherhood. And at North, this brotherhood is tighter than ever as they work through the pain.
If you're going to rep D. Hill, you're going to rep him to the fullest, and that means changing the culture and how you prepare. And that's exactly what they've done, and it's been led by them. This makes us sane, and we need this just as much as anybody else. So bittersweet, but it's great for us to be here.
Northside Boxing Club has become a household name in Minneapolis. At the intersection of 33rd and James Avenue, you'll see a lot of young people going in and out of the building on any given night.
You'll see 30 to 40 kids here working out.
But when the kids walk through the doors, they're learning a lot more than how to perfect an uppercut.
You'll see some that are here working on their homework, You'll see some that are in the kitchen helping out Big Joe as he's preparing our meal.
For 6 years now, kids come in for boxing classes, on-site tutoring, and a nutritious meal, while also learning life lessons and how to build character.
The bottom line is they come here and they know they have consistency, they have a safe place, and they have love.
Owner Ryan Burnett says he feels fortunate to be a part of this community.
We've brought a lot of positivity in a time where we've been surrounded by some negativity.
Since Northside Boxing Club is a nonprofit, it's all donation-based, so no one has to pay.
So, when I had to hit our budget every single year so that the doors can stay open, it's hard.
Burnett had to get financially creative and figure out a way to be self-sustaining. That's where Power Play Retail comes in. It's a local company that helps businesses around the country launch products and sell them on Amazon. For Northside Boxing, they created a collection of boxing gloves called Drills. Drills boxing and training gloves are built tough and perfect for men, women, and kids at any level.
We picked the name Drills because Phil the Drill, the gym manager here, has the fastest knockout in boxing history, and he's a pillar in the community.
We were able to create a sustainable and long-term fundraising solution for the gym so that they can focus on what they do best in providing these important programs for the kids.
Programs that Northside Boxing wants to continue long into the future.
What I envision in a couple years is some of the youth starting to learn what the business looks like so that this becomes their gym 20 years from now.
Reporting in Minneapolis, Cece Gaines, KARE 11 News.
3 balls, 2 strikes. By tradition, umpires are an anonymous bunch. Well, it's their nature. Right. You know the umpire's name?
No, I don't.
But one field over, at the Minnesota Girls 10 and Under State Softball Tournament.
Are y'all ready?
Everyone knows this name.
My name Blue Lou, and you know what I got.
What do you got?
I got a team that's hotter than hot.
If you missed it,
Blue Lou.
Ask around.
Blue Lou. All ready?
Everyone here knows
Yep.
Blue Lou.
Oh, he is an amazing ump, and we love him.
Love his strike calls.
He does like the one where he bowls.
Isn't that crazy?
It's almost like he does a dab.
The quiver, the bow, the arrow, and easily Minnesota's most photographed umpire.
I believe that we.
Part game official.
I believe that we will win.
Part motivational speaker. Part acrobat. Everyone knows Blue Lou.
He's the best umpire. Yeah.
But who is he?
Lewis Williams IV.
Lewis Williams, top right, hands on the shoulder of the single mom who raised Lewis and his 4 younger siblings in Milwaukee.
Way to take one for the team, even though you want to scream.
In 2016, he came to Minnesota to play football at St. Cloud State University.
So I had like 1.5 years left of school. They cut the team because of budget issues.
Lewis stayed, earned his engineering degree, struck a pose with his mother, and went to work in his field.
That was for you, Mom.
The field of manufacturing engineering and the infield.
She's a walker, just like Betty Crocker. Go, Betty, go, Betty, go. Go, Betty, go, Betty, go.
Full count, and then he rubs his belly.
He goes from dugout to dugout.
Everyone do the Viking Rumble.
He kind of gets them going back and forth.
And rumble. Foul ball, F-O. U-L. Girl, you found that ball. Last year, around this time, I read a book. It's called The Compound Effect. And the book basically was talking about if you got a talent, put it on display for the world to see.
You might say Lewis jumped at the opportunity.
I love the energy he brings. I believe.
How much do they love him?
Can he switch?
That's a team pleading to have Lewis move from another game to theirs.
Everybody say please.
I think we're gonna have to stay.
He sets a high standard for the rest of us umpires. These 10-year-old girls ask me, "Are you going to do flips for us?"
And I go like, no.
Our ump's cooler than yours.
I was the first ones here.
The girls will encounter plenty of umpires
Thank you.
they won't long remember. And one they will never forget.
As long as the kids have fun, hey, I'll do 100 backflips. It don't matter to me.
Boyd Hooper, KARE 11 News. Becker.
I love the Des Moines Metro. I've come to love Iowa. And I'm glad that I get to keep sharing how much I enjoy those things. My name is Nora J.S. Reichart, and I am a transgender woman living in Des Moines and working for WOI Local 5. For a long time, I didn't think I would get to say that, at least not on air like this. I didn't know if there was a place and a space for me to do this sort of work that I've really come to love and enjoy, while also getting to be myself while I do it. Especially early on, it's hard to place that sense of wrongness. Like I'm just a person who's almost wearing my body, not a person who's living in it. In late high school, I started having some thoughts in that direction, but it was at a time growing up in a pretty rural area that I didn't even have the language to describe what I was feeling. I thought I was just depressed. I thought I was just anxious. And I've had those feelings almost as long as I can remember. A while after I started being on air, I kind of just reached a personal breaking point of like, why don't I like the person that I'm seeing every time I'm going out in the field?
It is hard to overstate the devastation that this community has seen.
Why don't I connect with that person? Why don't I want to be that person?
We'll keep you up to date here on Local 5.
I started counseling last September. So I've been in some degree going through this process for just about a year now. I've pursued a more medical intervention. I am on hormone replacement therapy. There was a decent span of time where everyone in my life functionally knew me as Nora, except for the viewers at home.
Steph, many of us might not realize it, but hearing aid prices can be staggering.
Feeling like I was splitting myself into two like that. It's very weird to approach like every day at work as if it's a dress-up day, but that's really what it felt like when I made this exact leap of telling the viewers at home everything is going to be different, that the little name under my headshot is going to look a little different now on air. And I wanted to personally feel as ready as possible to make that jump, because there are expectations that come with it. So today, really big day for me. I'm officially filing the paperwork to legally change my name. In the state of Iowa, you have to file a petition with name change with the local court, and that's what I've got here. Got everything printed out. My dead name and my hopefully soon to be permanent name after this. This is just my credit card information, so please don't get this in the shot. Continue there. Reviewing payment. Submission confirmation. There we go. When I stepped away from work, it's the last thing I had left on my to-do list to feel like I'd accomplished everything I wanted to while I was gone. So in many ways, this feels like an end and a welcome back. I'm very fortunate that I'm in a position where my coworkers and my employer want to support me in this.
Morning, Theo. Good to see you.
I had all of those support systems, and I had so much help in this process.
Yeah, we had Khalil and Larissa's story yesterday, kind of.
I texted them this morning to be like, hey, how did things go last night? No response yet.
Simon had that shooting info that he put in.
We're living in a time when there's so much misinformation floating around about people like me. I promise we're more interesting than bathrooms or sports or whatever. We're still living wonderful, fulfilling lives outside of that. I'm still very much the person I was before. I still know too many Spider-Man facts. I still play a little too many video games for my own good. I still enjoy reading at the coffee shops around Des Moines, which is where you can usually find me on my days off. None of that has changed. Especially for people who feel like they have a personal relationship with a trans person, it's understandable that it can feel like a loss. But the way I would ask people to reframe that is, you're getting someone better. You're getting someone that person is so much happier being. What really stuck with me is when my mom told me that she doesn't think she's ever seen me this happy. And I feel the same way. And to know that other people are seeing that too, especially my mom and dad, who I love so much, I can do anything as long as I still have that. I'm grateful to be here in Iowa, where I've felt very supported as I've gone through this process, and I'm excited to give people at home a closer view of what this sort of process looks like. At the end of the day, I am still the person that you've been seeing on TV for the last year or so. I'm just a little happier while I do it now. I just hope that I'm a positive part in people's lives, big or small. And as long as that can still stay true through all of this, the rest is noise.
Waking up to cold in Minnesota isn't a singular experience.
It's just a ritual at this point. Wow, my feet are already wet. Okay.
Sometimes it's a ride up and jump in kind of day. Other times, it takes a little courage to take a stab at the task ahead.
Clear the ice. Oh, that was terrible. That's also part of the ritual.
It's a great way to start the day. You get incredibly energized. We probably have 30 to 40 people throughout the day.
Like travelers in the desert, these people come for water.
Nice balmy 34 degrees in here.
And in here, they seek a million different oases.
It can be a nice sanctuary from hectic, crazy, stressful day.
Every day I feel like we're testing ourselves in some way.
Our kids are going to distance learning tomorrow, so this is just like, let's just leave some stuff in the lake.
Leave it all in the hole.
The allure of the lake.
I hate cold.
More addicting than it seems.
Like, I despise it. I'm not even from Minnesota.
Even if it hurts.
It's really important to keep your extremities covered, particularly your hands. The purpose for my hands is so I can drive myself to work after this. Yeah. That's about it.
Jump through that mental barrier, get in and get out again. And then keep doing it every day.
Health benefits and mental clarity aside,
There's no real good rationalization here.
what the water has to offer is a constant, no matter the atmosphere.
We've done this in storms and in wind.
And that constant,
Well, the water's the same.
may just be the thing the pandemic doctor ordered.
There's just a lot of fun involved. This has become a community of people that did not know each other before they started coming here.
What started during COVID and people feeling really isolated, this has really brought so many of us together and brought us a lot closer. Getting out is the hardest part.
Longer the stay,
You have to get dressed quickly.
the harder it gets to leave.
It's definitely gaining popularity. We have the advantage of 10,000 lakes.
If it's a body of water, we'll swim at any temperature, I think is probably our motto.
Sharon Yu, KARE 11 News, Lake Harriet.
On the Knutson farm, harvest is a tradition going on 8 decades.
I'd be the 4th generation.
Jaden Gores wonders sometimes what bringing in the crop must have been like when his great-grandpa, Gunny Knutson, started this farm. Wonder.
Just pulling up beside you here.
Till Jaden just
Yeah.
asks him.
I'm giving her smoke coming north.
When Gunny Knutson was a sprout, self-propelled combines hadn't even been invented.
Oh, I love it.
Gunny at the wheel means bushels per acre won't be this harvest's most significant number.
I'm 94 and I was born July 18th, 1928.
Meaning the man in the combine was in a crib when Calvin Coolidge was in the White House.
Yeah.
And lest you think this might be nothing more than a photo op,
Gunny's my grandpa.
take it from Evan Knutson.
He puts in 12-hour days all the time. Not because he has to, but he wants to. Oh, yeah.
This year, like every year,
I ain't got much left of this field.
Gunny will harvest the majority of the corn and soybeans on the farm he founded in the 1950s. Harvesting then with a 1-row corn picker. And now,
18 rows.
18 rows and a video arcade.
This is telling me the moisture and what it's yielding.
While back in the yard, the newest Knutson tractor is parked next to Gunny's first.
Pup, 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 pup.
His 57 John Deere, 65 horsepower, sold brand new for $3,700.
That's got 640 horse.
What's one like that cost?
700,000. I can't believe it, you know, but I've lived it. Yeah.
Lived it.
Yeah.
And felt it.
I've got a beautiful wife. She's been perfect. Pardon me.
Growing old is a gift delivered at a cost.
I get emotional. Yeah.
A couple years ago, Julianne Knutson's health began declining.
There's my honey.
But Gunny
Yeah.
lives for her smile. Still.
She's my rock. Yeah, she's my partner. 73 years.
With help from his children
Okay.
and grandchildren.
Windows are clean.
This fall, Gunny is again climbing the stairs
Great.
to the best seat out of the house.
Great.
I would say it gives them a mental break from worrying about her.
Keith and Kevin Knutson are Gunny's twin sons.
Yeah.
They don't take a moment of this
Might as well keep it going.
for granted.
Still have our dad, you know, and working with him every day. Pretty special.
Name another member of a fourth generation
We're good, Grandpa.
still farming with the first.
I'll empty when I get to the end. I'll stop.
This here is one of a kind.
A one-of-a-kind Knutson family harvest tradition.
As long as the dear Lord lets me, I'm ready to buck.
Propelled by the dear Lord and John Deere. Boyd Hooper, KARE 11 News, Granite Falls.